If you're a college student and you're looking for real strategies for procrastination, then this video is for you. My name is Ben Boving and I'm a certified ADHD college coach. So I want to give you 4 simple strategies to help beat your procrastination problems so that you can have the best semester of your life. What's up, college students? Procrastination is something that I struggled with a lot when I was in college. I would constantly tell myself throughout the day that I really needed to start studying or I really needed to get started on that paper. And at the end of the day, I'd have nothing to show for. And then all of a sudden, these negative thoughts would just start to fill my brain. How lazy I was and why couldn't I be like the other students that just seemed to be really on top of their game? Well, what I did not know was procrastination has nothing to do with not caring or being lazy. It also has nothing to do with intelligence. So procrastination, neurologically, is really complex. It involves both the conscious and the subconscious brain. So for example, let's say you took a test a while back and you did terribly on it. Well, those negative feelings that you experienced after you got your grade back don't go away. They don't just dissipate. They kind of stay buried. And then they surface just at the right time when it's time to prepare for another test. And so when you have those nasty feelings start to trickle up again, it's going to tell your brain that this is a bad thing and that you need to avoid it at all costs. And that's when the procrastination loves to kind of set in and think that it's actually helping you, when in reality, it's going to cause you a lot of stress and overwhelm down the road. I mentioned procrastination has nothing to do with intelligence. Well, to prove it, Albert Einstein, one of the most brilliant minds of today, also struggled with procrastination. He often found himself delaying assignments because he preferred to work on them independently or when the time felt right. However, when he realized that these procrastination habits he was forming was detrimental to his work and progress, he came up with a formula for overcoming it. One of the things that people with ADHD struggle with is self-awareness. Our brains are so busy worrying about the past or thinking about the future that rarely do we spend time in the present. So when we're not spending time in the present, we're unable to recognize how our behavior is actually impacting our progress, our personal goals. So take just a minute to think about how procrastination is really impacting your life. Now, I know it sounds like a silly question because it's obvious, but what happens is when we procrastinate, it's such a quick subconscious decision that rarely do we actually spend time thinking about the consequences. So Albert Einstein understood that procrastination was definitely a problem in his life. So think about a task that you procrastinated on. Maybe the task was too overwhelming. Maybe you had trouble trying to prioritize what you needed to focus on. Maybe it was too many steps involved and you didn't really know where to get started on it. Or maybe you were just simply too tired and fatigued. These are the questions you want to start asking yourself so that you can understand the root cause of your procrastination. Albert Einstein understood the why. In other words, the root cause for his procrastination. So rather than just aim to work on theory, he had one clear goal. This made his goals more tangible and more achievable. So maybe instead of just setting a goal to finish a paper, you break it down and say, tomorrow after class, I'm going to spend an hour working on a thesis statement for my paper. And then I'm going to email my professor so that I can meet with them the next day to talk about the thesis. You've done a couple of things there. You've added some accountability and you've set a specific goal that doesn't feel like it's going to take forever. Let's say you wanted to improve organization. Well, you could set an alarm to go off at 9 every night to remind you to actually put your stuff away so that you're ready for the next day. These little steps will actually improve your overall organizational process, and it's not too overwhelming. Einstein also knew that just setting goals wasn't going to be enough. He was actually going to have to write this stuff down and create a plan for it. Now, writing stuff down and creating a plan is one of the biggest challenges that ADHD students face. They may start off strong in the beginning of the semester, but rarely does it stay consistent. Now, Einstein wanted his new system to last, but just like all good ideas, it can be really challenging to be consistent, even though we know it's really good for us. Einstein basically told himself that regardless of how he felt about getting started on it, it was imperative that he stick to his schedule. Now, That's easier said than done, especially when it comes to having ADHD. So here are 4 ADHD-friendly tips to help you stay consistent with your new organizational system and plan for the year 2025. Number 1, add more accountability. We talked about that a little bit earlier when I was mentioning emailing a professor to go over a thesis. But there's other ways. You can do this by telling your friends, telling your parents, telling your professors that you have some new practices that you're about to implement to help with your procrastination challenges. Also tell them they're free to check in with you at any time. That just adds a kind of accountability to know that you're not the only one sharing these goals. So it does kind of give us a nice little push to stay consistent in our new endeavors. Number 2, know that it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be days where you're going to look really great and think you have this licked, and there are going to be days where you just fall off. The most important thing, absolutely most important thing to do, is to not beat yourself up and just get back on the horse. Tomorrow is always another day. So just expect there to be bumps in the road. Once you overcome those bumps, you rebuild on that resilience muscle, and it gets easier the next time. Number 3, focus on finishing rather than starting. If we focus on getting started, that often churns up some negative feelings that can make it even harder to get started. So whenever I want to procrastinate, and again, every morning I work out. I've been doing this for about 8 years, and every morning my brain tells me, you know what, maybe today is not a good day to do that. I never think about getting started. I think about how good is it going to feel to have this thing done, checked off my list. So focus on the finishing of whatever the task is. And finally, number 4, understand the value. Look, this stuff's going to get monotonous over time. Every time you push through and get the stuff done, you are aligning with the student that you want to be, the one that you want to look in the mirror and say, I'm really proud of this person. This is the student that I know I'm capable of, and I'm performing at a level that I know I am capable of. So it's going to get boring. You're going to have bumps in the road. Push through, because every time you push through, again, that builds resilience and that resilience muscle, and it's going to only make it easier the next time around. College students, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope that it gives you some tips to help with your procrastination challenges and you have the best semester you've ever had. If you have questions or comments, please do put them in the comment section. If you really like this video, I'm going to have a lot more videos. Go ahead and subscribe. That would be awesome. And also, if you want more tips on how to college with ADHD, I do have a book out that basically incorporates my most favorite strategies that I've used when working with college students over the years on time management and organization and procrastination and all that good stuff. So go ahead and if you want more, you can always buy that book on Amazon. And I look forward to putting some more videos out to help you be the college student you know you're capable of. Thanks again.